This again and again insistence. You are not a sinner, you are divine. Amritasya putraha. The Upanishads, the Vedic message, the main message is Shrunvantu Vishve Amritasya putraha. The sage who after realization of God, after knowing the Supreme, he is coming down, looking upon all jivas in their original form, unassociated with the bodily existence. He is seeing the Chaitanya that has occupied a body and getting identified with it. You, the children of immortality, the message begins with you, the children, ye, the children of immortality. Amritasya putraha. They never the sense of you are a sinner, you are a karmic person with karmic load. These are all external things. If there is an original sin, where from did the original sin came to the original person? Where from did the original person came who committed the original sin? It came from the divine. Swamiji asked this question, Vivekananda asked this question. If you believe in original sin, why don't you take a step ahead, behind? A step behind. He has come from the divine. Before he could commit any sin, he had descended from. Why don't you see that divinity has descended? Why do you take all the beings as sinners, all humans as sinners? They are all children of immortality. Immortality is behind the screen. You are seeing only the external screen, the bodily existence. Go to the core, go to the core. You see the divine. Inheritance of divinity, inheritance of spirituality. Try to view that. So, the awareness of you being divine is essential to know that God is, to realize whatever God is, because God is the divinity, the divinity. So, when God is the divinity, divinity can be understood only by divinity. I am small divinity, small capital. God is with capital, divinity. A powerful man can understand what power is. A weak person cannot understand what power is. An ant cannot know the power of an elephant. Another elephant knows what is elephant. So, there must be some amount of understanding that what the power is. When I was in Ishwarpur, there was a cow in the ashrama, very strong and powerful, very compassionate eyes, and every prayer, evening prayer, when prayer happens, she would just come running to listen the prayer. Once, and she was not afraid of anything or anybody. She was quite well built and strong enough to face any of the other cows rushing towards her or anything opposing, ready to fight like that. Once a shepherd came there with hundreds of sheep. The sheep are all right. They are from Rajasthan, moving from place to place. In India we find that. and they had one or two ऊंट, camel. The moment the cow saw the camel, she was literally shivering. She is struggling to run away from the place. We have barbed wire fencing around the ashrama there. She is struggling, she has been tied out of fear, seeing the camel, huge camel, standing, moving about, eating the leaves directly from the top of the tree. She was terrified. I could not believe. We are all going to her and trying to pacify her. She is not listening to anybody. At last she broke the thread and started running here, there, everywhere fencing is there. And she jumped out of the fencing, breaking the last wire, and ran away. I was surprised. The strongest will see when the other stronger, it sees, it either fight or flee. So that it understands it's a higher power. So to realize divinity, you must have divinity within you. You must recognize divinity. You cannot approach God if there is no divinity, awareness of divinity yours, and any faltering steps in your external life will be a guilt in your heart. If you make any mistakes, you feel guilty. These guilts are the blockers between you and the divine. You have read so much about God, here, there, heard about it from the childhood. Early when you are born, the blessings of elders. With the name of God, the Hindu child grows. Everything, learning to dedicate everything to God. Presently, we may be missing much of these traditions, but to recognize one's own divinity and love God and serve others, respect elders, be honest in your life, all these were taught from the childhood. This is, second is when we grow up, we start searching for the information. We try to read some book here, there, some magazine we glance. We hear from the saints messages. We go to satsang sometime. Become aware of the divine. And whatever you have heard about God, whether it be in Harikatha or in satsangs or in a news or somewhere, whatever be the source, each time you have heard about God with a little understanding, it has entered your mind. Through scriptural studies, adhyayana, through the studies of life of saints, and from satsanga, the God enters your mind, awareness, and he enters the mana mandira. Yesterday we saw this, up to this we have seen. Now he is there in your mana mandira. He is a part of your thought. He is a part of your seeking, understanding. You understand what God is, whatever be your understanding. You understand something about God. And that God is there as a part of your mind, in the mind, as a thought, as an understanding of God. Now this God has to be taken from Mana Mandira to the Hridaya Mandira. Heart is the core of your existence. Mind is the third sheath. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya. Then there is Vijnanamaya, where you shift from the bodily existence to Jivatma level of your existence, the transmigratory soul. From there, one more kosha is there, Anandamaya. Then the real self comes. Now you have to take God from the mind, the external sheaths, to the innermost core of your being. There you will find that you are very close to God. You can see God. You can experience God when He enters your heart. Heart is the expression of the Atman, where from the external, from the world, from the bodily level, when you try to know your real existence, the first cover that you find in the end, before the Chaitanya begins, is the heart. Heart, we have three hearts: physical heart that pumps blood, feeling heart, we feel loneliness, this, that. When somebody is beating someone, you feel sorry. All this feeling heart, and then existential heart, the spiritual heart, physical heart, feeling heart, and that is emotional heart, and then your existential heart. Heart is core of your existence, like heart of a city. Where is your house? It is in the heart of a city, heart of the city. When you say heart of the city, it is not something hard, it is the core of its being. Earth, at the heart of the earth, the temperature is so many thousand Celsius. At the core, innermost core, centermost point of the earth, the temperature. So it is the core of your being. Is from there, when you penetrate, you enter into infinity. That is the 10th door. So you have to take him to the heart. There you will find the space of consciousness. It's called Chidakasha. This is Mahakasha. There is Chitta Akasha, space of mind. This is space of matter in which we live. Space of mind is there. Space of consciousness, Chaitanya. Chid Akasha. Chitta Akasha. Chitta Akasha is space of mind. Chidakasha. Chit Akasha. Chidakasha. Chitta Akasha. Space of mind. Chidakasha is space of consciousness, space of spirit, space of Chaitanya, consciousness. So you enter into taking God, you enter your heart. How does it happen? First is, forget your past. Don't link yourself to the past. You have left and come. You have begun your sadhana. Don't look back. Sri Ramakrishna says, just begin your new life. You have nothing to worry about the past. Krishna says the same thing in Bhagavad Gita. Apichedasi papebhya papakrit tamaha sadhureva samantavyaha samyak vyavasito hi sa. The day you have taken a decision, I have to go towards God, your past tendencies will try to drag you towards the world. Doesn't matter. begin a new life. You will have thousands of falls, doesn't matter. One day you will succeed. Like a child which has begun to walk. How many times it falls? In struggle to stand up, just standing up. Standing, it's a path it will be falling. One day it runs in Olympics, challenging others. Like that, in spiritual life also, begin sincerely. You will have falls. Don't bother. Go ahead, keep going. Don't look at back. Go on and on. Every fall, your decision, your goal in your front, your decision to attain that, each fall will be a stone in the foundation to that great edifice in which you are going to land. So, you will see that first forget your past. Don't worry what is happening in the present. Keep moving. Go forward. Go forward. Don't stop. Second, control your external life. Control your external life, that you maintain honesty and purity in your life. Otherwise, each guilt will be a kilaka in your internal path. So honesty and purity observe in your life, that no guilts are formed. For that, live a decent life. The third thing is, have compassion for all beings. Anybody suffering anywhere, you need not thrust yourself to trying to remove their suffering. Within your limits, if it is possible, go ahead. Otherwise, pray. Offer your humble prayers where it is not possible to help. With tears, like a mother praying for its sick child. Pray for the welfare of this world. Pray for the suffering mankind. Pray for other beings in the whole universe. Have compassion. Develop compassion for other beings. This is the external world. Wherever an opportunity comes, serve. Whatever service you can do. See, I will be going to the Holy Mother's Rock every day. Whatever on the path I can do, small services, removing a weed, fallen something, keeping in its position, place, silently. A leaf that has fallen in the street, taking and putting in the side, is a worship unto God. Wherever there is an opportunity to serve, don't wait for others to do. If it is there in your presence and you feel it is not going to disturb the smooth running of the institution, just go on doing the service. The final and most important is love God intimately. Love God intimately. Slowly begin to feel God as your own, because one day will come that you have to leave everything, all relationships will break. You will not know who you are, where you are. Every day nature is giving you this experience that nobody is yours, nothing is yours. The moment you sleep, you separate from the body, The existence of body also is not known to you. There is a body I have left in waking state, I have entered into sleep, you don't know. If nature doesn't bring you back, you will not even know there was a body and there was a life of mine in this world. So when you wake up again, you will find you have a body again, your things are there, your people are there. Nature is taking you away from all this, separating you from all things, just to show you are alone. Nobody is here which belong to you. You have to part from all this one day. Nature is giving experience every day. Temporary separation from the body is sleep, permanent separation is death. So, the inner relationship, the part which separates from the body when you sleep, your real existence is what is going to be related with God. This bodily existence has relation with this world. Your existence independent of body is eternally related to God. The moment you become aware of yourself, independent of body, you will find you are related to God. So the reality is this: you are eternally belong to God. God eternally belongs to you. Feel that. Feel He is your father, He is your mother, He is everything. Feel that intimacy. Feel the living presence of God with you. This is another discipline which you have to follow. That is to love God, feel intimacy, feel His living presence with you. Some amount of imagination is necessary in the beginning. But this imagination is imagination of the real and eternal. So it will take you to the eternal, real. If you think of unreal, if you meditate on unreal, if you imagine of the unreal, it will be unreal. Suppose I go on thinking, there will be fine flowers hanging in the sky one day. I will pluck all the flowers and worship God. That flowers will never come in space. Akasha. Akasha Pushpa. I will make a fine artifice from the horn of the horse. It will be a dream forever, which will never become, because it's unreal. Thinking of the unreal will lead you to unreal. Thinking of the real will lead you to imagine. Doesn't matter. Beginning. It is. Don't think it is imagination. It is imagination of the real. If imagination of the unreal is there, you are lost. So, God is the only reality of which you can imagine and reach it. So, some amount of imagination becomes essential and doesn't matter. Then develop that love for God, intimacy with God, dependence on God. This will make you feeling the living presence of God with you, will make you have a grip on God. You will see, love transforms God from the. Now there is no obstructions, because your life outside is of purity and honesty. So there won't be any kilaka obstructing you. So love makes you, compassion makes you to go in the path of least resistance. Otherwise, why she is doing like this? Why he is doing like this? When he does like that, I will do like this. That comes. This will not come when you feel compassion and love. So, tit for tat, jealousy, hatred, how he is having, why not me? All this will be eliminated from life if you develop compassion. Then, last thing you have to do is, after you develop this, go on singing the bhajans of God. That will make you hold God in your heart. Now you are taking God to your heart to make Him stay there in the heart, to get established in your heart. Whatever be your understanding of God, to make God be in your heart for all times. Go on singing. Because when it expresses, we saw a few days back, when the enlightened soul tried to express his supreme knowledge at various levels, through his intellect it becomes philosophy, to bodily existence it becomes rituals, through mind it becomes upasana, through words it becomes bhajans, singing the names and glories of God. So, this singing the names and glories of God, you retain God in your heart, enshrine Him in your heart, worship in your heart through those bhajans. This is the whole of how you take God who has already entered and living in your mind, Mana Mandira, to your heart, Hridaya Mandira. Then you will see that you are slowly becoming indifferent to the joys and pleasures of the world, for the blames and praises of the people, or that samanatva, sukha dukhe same kritva, labha labho jaya jayo, is possible when God enters your heart. Well, strive. Time is going away. Life is passing, you will not understand. Suddenly, darkness falls. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.